Hey, welcome back to Variologies. I'm Dan Calcagno. Today we're going to look at a little-known group called the Unitarians of Transylvania. That's right, the Transylvania that we're all familiar with through the story of Dracula. So to find out who they were, we have to travel back to the 16th century and the fact that the Protestant Reformation actually paved the way for something called the Radical Reformation. Of course, when we think about the Protestant Reformation, we think about Martin Luther or John Calvin. While many people saw the Reformation as an opportunity for political independence, others saw the Reformation as an opportunity to restore the Christian faith back to its original roots. In fact, that might even be a better word. Instead of reformation, you can think of restoration. These individuals engaged in what was called the Radical Reformation, an opportunity to try to restore the church back to its original roots, to return back to the teachings of Jesus and the apostles. And this was very evident in Romania, in the area of Transylvania in the late 1500s. Because of some newfound religious freedoms, certain people were given the ability to question what they were told about the faith, to ask questions about their faith. In particular, there was a man named Ferenc David who encouraged people to turn back to the original teaching of the apostles, and in particular, the original understanding of who God is and who Jesus is and Jesus' relationship to God. Under his influence, many began rethinking long-held doctrines like the doctrine of the Trinity and began to understand that God is one person, not three, called Unitarianism. And in fact, what was established there in Transylvania was the Unitarian Church of Transylvania in 1568. And the amazing thing is that that church still exists to this day, with thousands of members across Romania and Hungary. Some of these Unitarians took it a step further and started to recognize that Jesus and the apostles were Jewish and never stopped keeping the Sabbath and the festivals. And so they decided to adopt those practices as well. Sadly, the religious freedom that afforded them the opportunity to adopt these practices didn't last long. Laws were passed forcing these Sabbatarians to recant their beliefs or face brutal punishment. Here's the greater point. What was it about freedom that led to Christians rejecting the doctrine of the Trinity and embracing Unitarianism, and also some of them embracing the Jewish roots of our faith? Is it possible that when people are free to question things, free to think outside the box and return back to the original sources, to return back to the writings of the apostles, and to understand them in their original context, that when that happens, suddenly these doctrines come back, that these truths become evident again? And for those of us who have done that, who have seen the truth of Unitarianism in the New Testament and of the Jewishness of Jesus and the apostles, we can't unsee it. So I'm so grateful that we have the example of the Unitarians in Transylvania who were able to navigate through the layers of tradition that have built up over time and to see the original version of Christianity evident in the New Testament. And so that's what I'm endeavoring to do in my life and through this ministry, is trying to understand what Jesus and the apostles originally believed and taught and how they lived their lives and how perhaps we could follow in their footsteps. What do you think about the Unitarians of Transylvania? Did you know about them? Did you know that people in the 1500s and 1600s believed this way? Interesting, right? Thanks so much for watching today. You can support me on Patreon. You can like this video, share it with others, leave a comment, subscribe, follow me on X at Dan Calcagno, and visit my website, variologies.com. Thanks for watching. Take care.